The Galactic Council had made their decision in the sterile chambers of the Nexus Station, far from the primitive world they called Earth. The human colony on Kepler 442b had become too influential, too dangerous. Their ambassador's daughter, 6-year-old Martha, would be the message, a warning that even the emerging species called humanity could bleed. Jakar, the Viridian assassin, had never failed a contract. His 4 arms moved with practiced precision as he calibrated the plasma rifle, its barrel gleaming under the orange sun of this frontier world. Through his scope, he watched the small human child playing near the edge of the settlement, her laughter carrying across the meadow. Beside her stood an enormous creature the humans had inexplicably brought from their homeworld, a grizzly bear they called Bruno. "Foolish humans," Jakar clicked through his mandibles. "Bringing predators as pets. Their sentimentality will be their downfall." He didn't understand the human custom of wildlife preservation programs, or why they'd transported Earth animals to their colonies. The bear was massive, easily 800 pounds of muscle and fur, but Jakar had killed creatures twice that size. It would die first, then the child. Clean, simple. Walter Chen, the colony's xenobiologist, was reviewing data in his lab when the alarm in his neural implant chimed. The perimeter sensors had detected an anomaly, something cloaked, something that didn't belong. His blood ran cold when he saw the location, Sector 7, where Martha played under the supervision of Bruno. "No, no, no," Walter muttered, sprinting from his lab. He'd warned the Council this would happen. Humanity's rapid expansion had made enemies. He tapped his comm. "Security, we have a potential hostile in Sector 7, Martha's location. Scramble the response team." "ETA 12 minutes, Dr. Chen," came the reply. 12 minutes. Martha would be dead in 2. Through his scope, Jakar centered the crosshairs on the bear's skull. One shot, and the obstacle would be eliminated. His finger tightened on the trigger, but the bear moved. Not away, toward him. Bruno's head swung in Jakar's direction, despite the assassin's cloaking field. The creature's nostrils flared and a low rumble emanated from its chest. Impossible. The cloak masked thermal signatures, visual spectrum, even scent. Yet the bear knew. "Martha, come here." Bruno's handler had taught the child through months of training. Not words, bears couldn't speak, but Martha had learned to read Bruno's moods, his body language, and right now, every instinct in the massive grizzly screamed danger. Martha ran toward Bruno just as the plasma bolt sizzled through the air where she'd been standing. The grass ignited and the child screamed. Jakar cursed in 17 languages. He'd missed. The bear had somehow known. He cycled the rifle, but the bear was already moving, faster than anything that size had right to move. Bruno charged. Jakar fired 3 more shots. 2 went wide. One hit the bear in the shoulder, burning through fur and flesh. Bruno didn't slow. The pain seemed to enrage him further. "What kind of monster?" Jakar's words cut off as he dropped the rifle and drew his plasma blades. He was trained for this. The bear was just an animal. Just meat and rage. He was wrong. 800 pounds of apex predator slammed into the Viridian assassin with the force of a freight transport. Jakar's exoskeleton cracked. His cloak failed. 2 of his arms snapped as paws the size of dinner plates swatted his weapons away. Walter arrived to find carnage. The assassin's body was barely recognizable, scattered across the meadow in pieces. Bruno stood over Martha, blood matting his fur, the plasma wound on his shoulder still smoking. The bear's eyes met Walter's, and something passed between them, an understanding that transcended species. "Good boy," Walter whispered, approaching slowly. "Good boy, Bruno. You saved her." Martha clung to Bruno's leg, her small fingers buried in his fur, tears streaming down her face. The bear lowered his massive head, gently nuzzling the child with surprising tenderness. The response team arrived to a scene they'd never forget. A human child, alive and unharmed. An alien assassin, very much dead. And between them, a grizzly bear that had somehow detected a cloaked enemy and killed it with primal efficiency. Commander Yuki Tanaka stared at the scene, then at Walter. "How?" "Scent," Walter said, running a trembling hand through his hair. "Bears have the most acute sense of smell of any land animal on Earth. Bruno could probably smell the biochemistry of the cloaking field itself or the assassin's pheromones. What our technology couldn't detect, 2 billion years of evolution could." News of the incident spread through the Galactic Council like wildfire. The species that had dismissed humanity's pet-keeping as primitive sentimentality suddenly understood something profound. Humans didn't just build weapons and ships. They brought their predators with them. They formed bonds with creatures that could kill with thought and claw. The Viridian Syndicate issued a formal apology. No further contracts would be taken against human targets. The lesson was clear. You didn't just fight humans. You fought everything they'd brought with them from their death world, their loyalty, their bonds, and their bears. Walter sat in the medical bay as the doctors treated Bruno's wound. Martha refused to leave the bear's side, her small hand resting on his paw. "Why do humans do this?" the Centauri doctor asked, genuinely curious. "Bond with predators?" Walter smiled. "Because we recognize kindred spirits." "Because loyalty matters more than logic. Because sometimes the most dangerous thing in the universe isn't a weapon. It's a friend willing to die for you." Bruno rumbled contentedly as Martha kissed his nose. Outside, the colony went about its business, unaware that they'd just sent a message to the galaxy. Humanity had arrived, and they hadn't come alone. The Grizzly made sure the assassin never returned, and the galaxy made sure they never forgot.